Good morning and welcome to Kehilat Shari Torah's daily halacha mitzvah review for Monday, June 14th. We're going to start something new today, as we mentioned yesterday. We're going to look through Maimonides' list of 613 mitzvahs, the Taryag Mitzvot, the Sefer HaMitzvahs of the Rambam. We speak all the time about 613 mitzvahs, Taryag mitzvahs, and rarely do we ever get a chance to actually go through them and examine exactly what they are. So we'll take some time now and we'll go through that, a couple, 3, 4 a day. We'll see how many we go through. We'll be using a book, actually a 2-volume book, which you could certainly get a hold of if you like. It's called The Commandments, Maimonides' The Commandments, translated, edited, collected by Rabbi Dr. Charles Shavel, published by Sensino. Has been around for some years, very useful. It gives you a concise insight guide into all the mitzvahs. There's an index, so if you want to look up exactly what a mitzvah is, where it's found and what the source for it is, that will tell you. So what will be contained in here, we won't... he gives not an illustration, but a little bit of background in terms of looking at different svarim from the Rambam and from others of exactly what the origin of each mitzvah is. What we'll try to do is name the mitzvah, explain it in very brief terms what it is, give the biblical source for it, and then in that way sort of give a basic introduction. In a foreword to this book, the author here says that you can look at Rambam's, Maimonides' positive commandments and actually the negative commandments also under 10 different headings. So just basically to sort of orient ourselves and give ourselves, this is not Maimonides' wording, this is Rabbi Dr. Shavel who's putting them in these 10 groups. So just as an introduction, here are those 10 groups. Number 1 is belief in God and our duties towards God, the sanctuary, priesthood, and sacrifices. Number 3 is the source of Tumah and Tahara, methods of Tahara. Ritual, as we've said before, is an inaccurate translation. Ritual, purity, and impurity. Section 4, gifts to the temple, the poor, priests and Levites, sabbatical year, the Jubilee, and preparation of food. That's all one heading, sort of agricultural laws. Number 5, section number 5, these are under the positive commandments, remember. The holy days and observances connected with them, from Shabbat to the annual cycle of holidays throughout the year. Number 6, proper functioning of the Jewish state, how Jewish society is supposed to run, ideally. Number 7, our duties towards our fellow Jew, and by extension human being. We'll touch on that also. 8, duties attaching to family life. 9, the enforcement of criminal law. And number 10, laws relating to property, real estate, and personal liability. Obviously a lot of civil procedure there. So we'll talk about those. That's all contained in volume 1 here, 248 positive mitzvot. When we get to it, 365 prohibitions of the Torah, also 10 groups. And group number 1, idolatry and related subjects. Section 2 are duties to God, the sanctuary, and the services in the sanctuary and the temple. Number 3, sacrifices, priestly gifts, priests, Levites, and related subjects, and 4 prohibitions affecting food. In other words, prohibited food, non-kosher food. Number 5, cultivating the land of Israel, agricultural laws. Number 6, our duties towards our fellow, towards poor, towards employees. Number 7, administering justice, the authority of the courts in similar matters. 8, Shabbat and festivals. 9, forbidden degrees of marriage and related subjects. And number 10, the head of the Jewish state and its officers, how the civic society is supposed to be carried out. Let's just go to mitzvah number 1, because it is the basis and the cornerstone, as it were, on which everything else rests. And that is, of course, believing in Hashem, believing in God. When we read the 10 Commandments, chapter 20 of Exodus, verse number 2, we read, I am God, your God, who brought you out of Egypt. So we know from this, mitzvah number 1, by this injunction, we're commanded to believe in God, to believe there is a supreme cause who is the creator of everything in existence, contained in these words that we just said from the book of Exodus. And he goes through a number of examples. We're not going to quote all these. You can please get a hold of this book and take a look if you'd like to see in more detail how it's the very essence of Judaism. And he writes, without a firm belief in the existence of God, without a firm conviction and clear sense of God's all-transcending reality, an understanding of Torah and observance of the mitzvahs is really pretty much impossible. So this is a very basic and important foundational mitzvah to understand and appreciate. Certainly worth more than the time that we're giving it here, but we are giving just an introduction, as we say. So please tune in tomorrow and the days that follow. We'll continue with mitzvahs 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and hopefully we'll learn a bit and gain some more insight into who we are and why it is that we do what we do. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.